What's up, Brad? It's why we love horror. Hey, this is one of those things we're doing whenever we want because we're covering movies we saw in theaters or recent releases, basically more or less. I saw this in theaters. I think Aaron picked it up one of the first days it came out on VOD, so it's still topical. But before we get into the movie, how you feeling, Aaron?
Good. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this one since it got put on my radar. Big Joel Edgerton fan, and once I heard the buzz, I started trusting the hype, and we'll see if I'm glad I did.
I believe this was definitely in the top 5 of the Horrorville list from last year, which I think it disappeared from the list because they'll probably put it on this list, but it peaked at number 3 in one of the iterations of the list last year. This is Charlie Pollinger's The Plague. Now, I'm a man who grew up in America, and you're a man who grew up in America. Yes. I have experience with adolescent boys, especially in a sports setting. I feel you do as well. Mm-hmm. The one thing I'll say before we even get into the synopsis of this film is this is insanely accurate.
Yes. Yeah, no, this definitely feels like one that's from the source.
Yeah, if this didn't happen to the writer of the movie, then they must have interviewed some kids that went through it. This is basically about, and there's some there's some degree of magical realism to it, I'll say, but basics. Ben is a boy, and his parents decide they want to turn him into a very skilled water polo player, so they send him to a sleepaway water polo camp. And the kids there are cliquish and dicky. Yes. And it is about the horrors of being bullied, watching people get bullied, and it goes places.
Yeah.
What are your initial thoughts on it?
Yeah, no, right off the bat, I don't think that it is a hard movie to figure out the thesis of. I don't think it's a hard movie to figure out what you're trying to be told. Some might feel that's a little on the nose, and that might take away from it. But overall, I thought it was extremely authentic, brutal portrayal of highly relatable subject to a lot of boys and probably girls growing up. And it's just that for this one, it was just from the perspective of the boys. And I thought all of the child performances in this movie were incredible. Joel Edgerton wasn't in the movie that much, and that wasn't a problem for me, which just says how good the movie was. I especially think the main bully, I believe it was Jake.
Jake,
played by K.O. Martin. That kid's incredible. There's a glint in his eyes as he's doing these horrible fucking insidiously bullyish shit to everybody that it's just it's hard to teach that level of acting. It's incredible, and it's I wonder if he was even acting almost.
K.O. Martin is the standout in this movie. He absolutely incredible. Either he is a sociopath or Charlie Pollinger just knows how to direct kids to be sociopaths. I totally believed every single Machiavellian little drip of bullshit he put throughout the movie, and he's such a smug prick.
Mm-hmm. The conversations he has with the main kid are just killer.
Yeah, because it goes from, I think I'll toss up spoilers, I'm not going to be too spoilery. Basically, the whole clique there in the water polo group, they've created a game / hierarchy that they all just play into, and that you can catch the plague. And there's another youth there who's been there since the session before, and his name's Eli. And there's 2 ways to, I guess, look at it. Either he is autistic and on the spectrum because all of his behaviors feel like garden variety autism, or everything the boys are saying about the plague being something you can catch where it devolves you is true. Now, left up to interpretation in the movie.
Yeah.
And if you can't touch this kid, you can't touch anything he's touched. You can't be near him because you could get the plague, or the base like cooties, I guess. You could get it as well. And so they physically ostracize him. They socially ostracize him. We see that happening. We'll start with that.
Yeah, no, it's really just fascinating. whatever level you take it at. Yeah, it's just it's a metaphor movie. It's a literal movie as well. Like, so it really doesn't matter the answer. It doesn't really change the overall themes being presented here. And yeah, poor Eli. That kid is just trying to enjoy his Betty Boop cutout at the dance. And when that gets shredded to pieces, that was like just heartbreaking. And then he cuts off his finger, and like,
Yeah.
it's just like, I hate digits being cut off. You're a needle person, like needles and stuff you can't do. I cannot do digits, whether it's toes or fingers being cut or smashed when they show it and keep showing it.
I'm cool with needles. It's bloodlet. It's like bloodletting, like through tubes and stuff. Like fucks me up. That I can't. But needles are cool.
Okay.
That being said, but yeah, I totally get the digits thing. That's definitely.
I know I jumped around there with Eli.
No, that's fine because it's kind of foreshadowed in Ben's first interactions with Jake and Jake's crew that like Ben's gonna get it because Ben has a speech impediment.
Yep.
For starters, that becomes his nickname. And you're like, oh, fuck, they're going to turn on this kid eventually. Yeah. And they do. Because Ben he's human, and he humanizes Eli, and part of the plague is you get a rash. Mm-hmm. So Ben helps Eli, apply topical ointment to his back where he can't reach. And that's enough to like, all right, now you got the plague. And the whole second half of the movie is just them like fucking up Ben's world. Mm-hmm. And it's cruel. It's the cruelest shit to the point that like he tries to run. He doesn't run away. He leaves, mm-hmm. and then they have the heart-to-heart with Joel Edgerton, and then basically he like winds up having to report Jake, and Jake gets booted from the place. But that doesn't stop the onslaught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and it's just like it's just relentless. And at the same point, like the Charlie Pollinger, the way he shoots the movie is just like incredible. Like the shots, the juxtaposition, like as it's all going on of like in the pool as behind me with like the poster, that entire scene is just like really fascinatingly shot, and against all this just like horrible shit these kids are doing at the same point, like they shoot it just like kind of in like a serenely beautiful way throughout it as well. So like, that's just like a really interesting choice as well. And yeah, I mean, poor Charlie, just eventually it's just, you gotta either sink or swim.
And they don't shy away from the fact that like water polo is a physically intense, brutal sport. Like mm-hmm. You're basically allowed to like
attempt to drown the opponent.
And if you're uncomfortable with like drowning, this movie will also make you uncomfortable because there's definitely some scenes like he's been underwater a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel has to jump in a time or two.
Yes, he does. And we don't need to spoil like where the movie goes. Just understand, like if you're touched by bullying or like feel it's a topic that's worth discussing, The Plague explores the space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. It's definitely a horror that for people who are like looking for more of a psychodrama, this is more the area. It's not like extremely horror, but I would definitely say it's horrific.
Yes.
Regardless. And like I said, I just well, not really a spoiler, but the way the movie ends, the final sequence in the movie is just fantastic to me.
Yeah, good soundtrack. Good soundtrack.
Really good soundtrack.
We'll get to the ratings then. I'll let you go first. I think I might be higher on this movie than you.
Yeah. I really did like this movie a lot. It's not too on the nose, but at times I think it was a little bit, it kind of hammers the point home to a little bit of an effect to where it's losing a partial effect at times. But overall, it's a really good, amazing debut. The Mask of the Red Death is, I believe, this director's next movie, which, judging from the 4 people in the cast, looks amazing so far. Leah Sado, Mikey Madsen, and others. But for this movie, 4 stars.
I saw this in theaters, I believe, 3 days into the year. I was very glad I did. It is my first 5-star movie of the year. Like, this movie just hit on all cylinders. I did not play water polo, but I did go to a sleepaway football camp, and kids are like this.
Yes.
I'm not going to say what side of it I was on, but I witnessed this happening. So it was like nostalgic is the wrong word, but it's the word I'm going to use.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll do it for this week. Well, not even this week. That'll do it for this episode. There'll be more movies coming up. There's definitely some more stuff I got to cover. So be on the lookout for the channel when we drop this and other movies. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out the Letterboxd challenge there. We appreciate your input and your interaction. Until next time, I'm JWMaher. That's Aaron Brooks. This has been Why We Love Horror.